it's getting closer to being like Augusta National as far as
exactly
how
where
manicured it is.
my head was going with. You're right.
It seriously is. When you've played Augusta and you've played a players recently, it's like, holy crap.
Yeah, well, you pull up the driveway now on the right, and you have that tightly mown grass all the way down the right. It's perfect year round. I mean, it's pure. It does give off those vibes a little bit.
So, Matt, the 2014 when you won, Arnold Palmer was still alive. He's still alive in 2015. Walking off that green, what was that moment like? Because I can't imagine just as a player, walking off that green, watching Tiger do it for so many years, shaking Arnold's hand. What was it like for you?
Well, okay. So when I walked off the green the first year to shake his hand, I did not know that I had won yet. I had to sweat out. It was like maybe Adam or Keegan had to miss like a 20, the putt Tiger always makes. And, so let me get back to that. So I go through the tunnel and I'm in the scoring trailer and there's a little TV in there. And, we're 50 yards away from the 18th green. It's right across the street. And I think it was Adam. Maybe it was Keegan. Anyways, I'm watching him get ready to putt and I can hear right when he's getting ready to walk into his putt, I can hear the crowd like moan, and it wasn't a roar like he made it, and it was just like I still watched the putt though to make sure it missed, but that feeling was like out of body, man. I mean, then it's like, are you kidding me? And I knew, and I knew, my dad that was the first tournament my dad ever took me to. I grew up in Daytona, and some of my first memories are my dad bringing me over there. I think the first time I went, Andrew McGee won. I don't even know what year that is, but I remember his name winning the tournament. But yeah, it was killer. I knew Mr. Palmer a little bit before because I was buddies with Sam Saunders. And so, years before, Sam and I would get paired in that tournament, and Arnie would come out and ride in his golf cart, like in the rough during the tournament, watching it, like right behind us hitting, watching us hit. It was great. And the cool part was I knew he knew how much it meant to me. Like there were sexier names around mine that could have won that golf tournament. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And he was all in, and it was, dude, it was just the coolest ever.
I mean, I can't imagine even after. So I imagine vividly, you can probably remember just the locker room that evening. I would have just stayed there all night.
Oh yeah.
And just like been pouring whatever they were pouring. Right.
And they've redone the locker room a little bit since. And we used to have this like warm, cozy, like old school locker room. And it's a badass hanging there with the guys who have been working there forever. It's the best. I didn't leave there for a long time that night. It was, you don't want to leave. You're like, I'm going to soak this all in. I remember the drive back to Jacksonville was great. It was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't wipe the smile off my face. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can't imagine. But wasn't Arnold Palmer's drink Kettle One with a lemon twist? Is that what it was? I mean, I would have just...
You would have just been sipping that. I wasn't
on that. Hey, Arnie. Yeah, I got this one. Did he stay after it all, or did he bounce?
No, he bounced. He was getting up there in age. But I'm telling you, he made me feel like the champion, dude. It was the best.
Well, so expectations going into the following year in 2015, were you playing just as well, or was this one a little bit more of a surprise based off of form coming in?
So when I won, I started struggling like right after. I was kind of a little white. I remember struggling in left to right winds off of the tee, and it was driving me nuts. And I knew it was just like I kind of wiped my driver a little bit was what it was. It was just a pattern that I had in my golf swing, and I bounced around a couple coaches, and then it's interesting because if you would ask me who my coach was the majority of my career, I would say Scott Hamilton. But at this point in my career, Sean Foley popped up, and it was just, like Sean and I knew each other for a while, just we were buddies. Mm-hmm. And I think him and Tiger just bailed. He had some time. So he took a look at me, and we really like tried to shallow my longer stuff out to get rid of that left to right spin. And it took me a while to get it. I turned into an amazing range player, and it usually was the opposite for me. I was usually like, I don't know about this. And I'd go out there and stripe it, and then it turned into when I didn't miss, and now I'm 3 over through 7 holes. Like, what the heck's going on, So it took me a little while to mirror it up. I had no form coming in at all, like none. I remember Tampa, I missed the cut, and I had my family with me. And I was pumped that I was going to Bay Hill the next week, but I went and hit balls Friday after. And another thing Sean and I worked on was my like head position at address. I kind of always like was kind of Jordanish, cocked my head a little bit, and we were trying to get more neutral. And under the gun, even I would call Thursday on the PGA Tour under the gun if you're changing your head position.
Oh yeah,
that you've been doing your whole life. You know what
Feels
I mean?
like Sunday the back
but
nine,
you have
man.
you have to get real reps, and the only way to get those is just to commit to it and figure it out there. And sometimes that could take 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It could take 5 months. I mean, it could. I got to Bay Hill. Like I said, I had been striping it on the range for like 3 months and 0 results. Like none. I think I saw something the other day where I was in my last 6 tournaments, I was like 48 over par going into that week. And
sure.
Then I just found something on the course. Maybe I was just comfortable. I think it played pretty easy that year too. And it just worked out. I really didn't even putt good that week, man. I didn't.
So you could have been walking away, man. Arnie could have gone home.
I don't know about that. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant by that at all. But like, I remember being frustrated the first 3 rounds. Like, damn it! Like, I am not making a thing right now. Like, this could be ridiculous, And then the last round, I did.
So Arnold, was he was there on the 18th hole?
Oh yeah.
At that point, so this time you had the moment with him on that green, getting to shake his hand.
Yeah, this was different. There was more of an embrace there. Got to shake those big old man hands again. And I mean, I'm telling you, man, there's some paws on that guy. He's all time. He's favorite. My favorite. Yes, I won his tournament, but he's my favorite legend of the game, like far and away.
Were they giving cardigan jackets out for winning?
No, so I got a little hosed on this, dude. So they used to give. Do you remember when Tiger was winning it and they were giving him a sword?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well,
I didn't know it was that event though.
Yes, that's what it was. Well, I somehow fell between the cardigan and the sword, and I just have a trophy, which is totally fine. Like, I have 2 beautiful trophies in my living room. They're amazing. But I think the swords would be pretty sick too.
One of the coolest things that Arnold Palmer would do was the signed letters that he would send when you won a golf tournament. I assume you probably still have a couple of those letters from those 2 wins.
I do. I have them both up in my living room. Got my Augusta National letters. Yeah, those aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I have one sitting as well in our house, signed Arnold Palmer after my win. It's the coolest thing ever, man. The guy's a living legend, and it's a fun week. So now when you're in the media business now, just like myself, how's that transition been for you, and what do you like the most about it?
Let's just fast forward over the 9 years of absolute dog a golf course.
Well, I mean,
I appreciate that. It's been great, dude. I love doing this. Look, PGA Tour Live's right in my backyard in Ponte Vedra Beach, and there's some great people there that I work with. I really, really like doing this. I'm sure you can speak to this as well. It doesn't feel like work. Like this week, I get to go follow Ludwig and Scotty Scheffler for the first 2 days and have a front row seat to that. Are you kidding me, dude?
Which is a great place to be. Are you in the locker room? Like, you giving like the Any Given Sunday inches Al Pacino speech? Are we there yet?
Oh yeah, I think we've been there. We're gonna have a long talk with Rob today about the 199 issue from last week. Like I just don't get how he is still employed. We gotta talk to ownership about that one.
The Smylie Show, only on SportsGrid.
Possible that while every other state is trying to copy New York and get that 51% tax on sports betting, is it possible that New York will actually lower their taxes? That's surprising.
The question is, of course, well, what sports books could go there? I mean, we're already at 9 that are the biggest ones out there in the market. So, I mean, who are you really missing?
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Remember when everyone was upset about NIL? You know what NIL did? Make sure Cooper Flagg wasn't playing with the G League Ignite. That's good for us. That's good for college basketball. When the best players are actually playing college basketball.
You're going to get battle tested. And it doesn't matter, Kevin, if you're at home or on the road. If you don't come ready to play in the SEC, you're going home with an L.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What?
How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
If you get streamed, you're doing featured holes at PGA Tour Live and you're sitting on the 16th hole or wherever, and everyone's hitting it 10 feet to the right, and you're sitting there and you're like, damn it, I remember being short-sighted on that downslope of that bunker over there and making double here, and just stuff like that. Like, there's no need to take on, anything more than minimal risk out there in most moments, unless it's the very end. And I had a hard time resisting temptation, and I think if I was better at that, I would have been a little better, but I also don't know if that really synced up with my personality, and I don't know, man.
And what about watching guys on the ground, just the way they go about their business mentally and just how they carry themselves as far as their posture? That's something that I noticed.
Look, what I've noticed is everyone needs to smile more out there, Smylie. It's glaringly obvious. And I was a victim of it myself, but we need to show more of our teeth out there. Like, it's not that bad. Body language is it might be at an all-time low right now. We need some shoulders up high. Jake Knapp's body language last week after 11. I mean, I get it, but it looked pretty tough. Yeah.
Just shoulders kind of got a little low on him, didn't it?
I'll tell you what else I've noticed doing this. The player caddy combo I feel like it's gotten a little too much.
It's gotten too complicated, you think? Like too much
it's just information? Sometimes it's just a stock 7 from the middle of the fairway. Like, we're not trying to solve a crime out here. Like, I've been doing this my whole life. So this is 174-yard 7-iron. I got it. Like, I don't need a checklist of things. But I guess it's how these guys are now. There's
you throw an aim point too, man. There's just all these steps that these guys kind of like. We're turning players into robots, kind of, right?
We are. Yes, everyone has a TrackMan, and basically everyone does aim point. What do you think on aim point? Are you out on that?
I don't like the mannerisms that guys have with it, as far as just getting that close to the hole. Like it used to mean something to respect people's lines and their through lines. Like, we were always making sure we weren't finishing out. Now guys just walk up there right up next to the hole. And I know they're not getting in anybody's way technically, but it just creates a lot of friction and traction around the hole.
Yeah. I just don't like the way it looks, to be honest. I mean, if we're already a fringe sport, this doesn't really do us any favors.
Me too. But I also think that it's important every now and then to be able to throw your club, and you were probably the best at just one good solid one, like every other month.
Yes.
Where was your favorite club throw that you ever had?
Nobody's ever asked me that. And you're spot on with that. I didn't do it a lot, but if I did, I was going to get my money's worth. Yes. Because the fines are all the same. Like if I'm going to get fined for just Uncle Rico and one at my bag, 12 yards away, I might as well try and throw it 70 yards,
Are we thinking like Rory McIlroy, like 3 iron in the lake type of thing?
Oh, my best. All of mine beat that one. All of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How far did it go and where was it?
I've had a couple really good ones. One year at Torrey, I was chopping and I was playing with Keegan, and he hit it on 14. I hit a terrible tee shot, just totally bailed out to the right, and he's in the fairway and I'm up next, and I just chopped one out short of the green. I don't even know where it went. It didn't matter. I was fuming at this point. And immediately after I hit, this is from the right rough, I just helicoptered one over his head into the canyon. Like, not even, this thing was 50 yards into the canyon too. He giggled, him and Scotty Vale. It was hilarious. And then that was it. But from the right rough into the, dude, that is such a far throw. That's a long ways.
That's a good 60 yards, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
there's some, you know how you get, like, you ever just out in public and you like see a view of something and you're like, oh, this would be a cool golf shot or something like that. Mm-hmm. I had that happen to me one time with Mark Russell. Okay. So 17 at the old Reno. Do you remember that tee shot?
Yes.
Probably
top of a cliff.
Nightmare tee shot for you and I, by the way, with the yips off the tee. Like
100%.
Thin air, 100-foot elevation drop, like a thimble of a fairway, crosswind. The good thing is it was Stableford, so you could only make double at least. You know what I mean?
Well said.
You know what I'm saying? So I had this nasty tug, and I don't know if it's hazard or what it is down there. And so we go down there, we don't find it. And Mark's got to drive me back up the hill. Like, I'm already done for the day. And we're talking, like, Mark's a buddy of mine, and we're talking about the Orlando Magic, actually. He lives in Orlando, and he's buddies with, like, my childhood idol, Scott Skiles. So we're talking about Scott Skiles coming up the hill. We got this climbing this mountain, and the group behind us is already on the tee.
Oh, even more awkward. You're just
you get not if you're used to it. It's not that bad. So
hey guys, good to see you again.
The next one just goes a mile to the right, and I get back in the cart, and we get to like the spot where we're getting ready to like go back down the hill and the elevation drop. I was like, Mark, just stop the cart real quick. And he stops it, and I get out and just launch this thing like 100 yards down the hill. This thing went forever. He just giggled. It was so good. He's like, Matthew, what am I gonna do with you? I say, you're not gonna find me.
He didn't find you?
Away.
No, this was just like
he would never. I think if you do it in front of their face, like.
It's respect thing.
Yeah,
it's like, hey,
it's like, I knew you were right here. Like, come on, man. Nobody's watching this. We got 2 volunteers over there.
Yeah, I literally just told you I was going to, I asked for a technical here. And
all of my fines have been from Stephen Cox out there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Who I also love. Great guy.
I think we all had like one ruling with Steven that we just completely disagree with in our days.
Yeah. Can I get another official up here?
Oh, shoot, man. Matt, I just laughed way too hard at all that because it's so relatable. I actually, when I throw my clubs, I'm careful of the spin rate of how it's going to land so I don't have to reshaft a club and so I have to deal with that because I don't get clubs quite as easily anymore.
It hurts to throw clubs now, too. Like, I couldn't tell you the last time I threw one, dude. 5 years. Now that I don't play golf anymore, I don't get mad ever.
Philadelphia 76ers is they tried to play two different things. They tried to play contender, and they tried to play protect Joel Embiid. It wasn't doing Joel Embiid any good. And this goes back to what I've talked about numerous times on this network. Why did they let him play in the first place? Why was he on the Olympic team? I mean, we looked at it last year in the playoffs against the Knicks. The damn kid was on one leg.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
I kind of got like guys in late early this week.
That's a good note right there. So late early is the wave to be in this week.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
You never know, but typically with a north wind in the mornings, if it says it's going to be blowing, it's going to be going, and it's going to be cold too. So I preferably, like when it's windy, I'd rather be playing in the afternoon. At least it's going to be a little warmer. Friday, Saturday, Friday's going to be like really nice. Saturday is going to be a little bit of wind. Sunday, we're going to have some wind and some rain. So Friday, if that's your scoring day, I mean, you would like to go out in the morning and try to shoot the lights out of the place, meaning shooting the lights out of Bay Hill is you go shoot 67, you go shoot 66. And you can do that in the afternoon too. But I think tomorrow is a big day. It's who can go out and shoot a 3-4 under par round tomorrow to set yourself up for like a scoring day on Friday.
It's like slightly turning the dimmer up on the lights just a little bit, maybe just adding a little more light to the room. We can't
it's gonna be fun.
Shoot the lights out of the place.
Like it's gonna be a fun start to the week with Thursday, and then Sunday just being windy as crap. I think it just makes for just kind of chaos on Sunday.
I will say the Willie Z pick, like I think if the scoring stays low, if it is crispy out there, I like that a lot just because the one thing for him that's always a question mark is the putting. But he obviously has, the length is coming back as his back gets healthier and healthier, and he's a great ball striker, great iron player. So if everyone's kind of stymied by the conditions, it being tough, and I feel like he could stay in and around it. So I like that one. My pick this week is going to be Patrick Cantlay, 28-1 to win outright, which feels long for Cantlay. This season, the form he's been in. T15 of the Century, T5 of the Amex, T33 at the AT&T, and a T5 at the Genesis. And he's only made 2 starts here at Bay Hill, and 23 finished tied for 4th, and T36 last year. We talked about this a lot on the show. Just like this feels like it could be a big year for Patrick Cantlay, where he could pick off a couple of wins. Just have that feeling. And this, to me, heading into major season at a really like a big boy venue. I feel like he could pick one off here, and this could be the setup for a good finish to the year for Patrick Cantlay.
Yeah, maybe it has something to do with the LaCava back-to-back. Joe Highsmith's caddy, Joe LaCava Jr.
Did you see their pair together?
Cantlay with Joe LaCava on the bag. Maybe a little back-to-back from the LaCava camp. I don't hate it.
I love that. Yeah, okay. They got Highsmith and Cantley, I think, playing together on Thursday, Friday to get the LaCavas in the same group. How about that?
There you go. You see, that's just good vibes.
Great vibe. Needed it.
All right.
Need them.
We're going to IHOP this week. We're getting the flapjacks.
Wow.
And we're taking Hideki Matsuyama.
Big goals.
Yes, we're taking Hideki. Why does it always feel, and maybe this is just me, that he's always slept on every single big week? It's the guy that nobody ever talks about, but he's always going to be in the last couple of groups on Saturday and Sunday. It's just like clockwork. He plays well this time of year. He's a very good iron player. He drives it straight. Again, he's a very good iron player, and it's a little streaky at times with the putter. But if you get the good streak with Hideki's putter, you're winning by 5. Now, if you have the bad Hideki putter, you could be missing a cut. He's just not going to miss a cut. But I just think that Hideki at this place, it just the way he hits shots, especially off the tee. This golf course is all about eliminating left. If you can eliminate the left side of the golf course and then not have a bailout right, so being able to take tight lines with the left miss, knowing that you can't miss left, that's kind of the formula here. And Hideki, for the most part, has a tight little draw off the tee, so I kind of like that. Mainly, of course, it goes left, dogleg lefts. There's a couple holes that go right, but few and far between. So Hideki Matsuyama, we're celebrating an IHOP, and we're eating some flapjacks.
I love that. I think that's a great pick. I mean, and I think that in some ways falls in the same box in my mind as Zalatoris, where if everyone's playing defense on the greens this week because they're super firm and super fast, he's a guy that is going to be straight off the tee and is a phenomenal iron player. So I love that pick a lot, and often slept on. Let's get what's the IHOP signature stat called?
I don't.
Do we know what the menu item's called?
I'm not sure, but I just know the boys are celebrating at IHOP, and I'll change my flight if Hideki wins.
Yes.
You heard it here first. Changing my flight to go eat IHOPs Monday morning to celebrate with the Matsuyama camp.
Perfect. Like the next time we'll see you live on Instagram, if he wins, we'll be just crushing a stack of pancakes.
Maple syrup flying everywhere. Just going to be a free-for-all.
It's made every match so much more enjoyable to watch because you don't get the stinkers, right?
Right. It goes back to these guys being smart. They figured out that if I've got the hammer in my back pocket and I don't relinquish it, we can just play them straight up and win. They figured that out. So it's like, all right, now credit to the people at TGL. Like, no, we need to fix this because the hammer can change the match. And since we fixed it, you're not out of it.
The Smylie Show, only on SportsGrid.
There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Off of the combine this weekend, there's been lots of anonymous sources and position coaches and all these things that sat down in interviews with him. A lot of teams allegedly don't see him as a first-round pick.
Their big mouth that thinks they can do it either. They're embarrassing themselves. They all think they're so smart, everybody in this business. You're all a bunch of drips. Honestly, you don't know who's going anywhere.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.